I'm so fancy with my sweater like this. So we got out on a hike. We decided it was warm enough to go hike along the Blue Ridge Parkway in Asheville, and we're loving the view through the trees since there's not a lot of leaves out right now. I'm having trouble capturing how gigantic this hill full of rhododendrons is. It's nuts. Like, I can't imagine, like, there would be so many flowers in the spring. Sorry, I'm being a plant nerd. I'll stop now.
The little beast does not like the cold iciness on his feet.
So he gets to be carried. So we stayed here in this Cracker Barrel parking lot last night. I just want to take a moment to express my gratitude for the hospitality that Cracker Barrels have for us van lifers. I was walking out of the garbage corral this morning after dumping the garbage, and the manager walked out the back to load up that Cracker Barrel on the go car and was just like, morning. Didn't even blink an eye that I was leaving their garbage corral after dumping my trash there. So thank you, Cracker Barrel. I told you were in charge of remembering this. Sometimes we put the smoke alarm on the roof when we're cooking because it goes off all the time, and we just drove a solid, like, I don't know, quarter mile with it on the roof. Thank God it's still here. I'm obsessed with this sculpture. So we've had a little bit of a stressful morning. We left my mom's cousins that we were visiting in Clemson, and on the drive from Clemson to Columbia, the truck started making a clicking noise that was very concerning. We know it has an issue with a lifter that gets stuck sometimes, and that's not the end of the world, it just makes an annoying sound, but the sound was getting louder and louder as we were driving, so we pulled over. We called our mechanic friend Nicholas, who has some, had some opinions, told us to add some oil because maybe if the oil's low, the lifter could be falling down and not, pumped all the way up. So we did that, and then we drove to a parts store to buy a fancy, like, automotive stethoscope thing that we'll use to listen to the engine. And on the ride there, the noise stopped. So we're hoping that the lifter has just, had enough oil, it's pumped itself back up, and that's the only issue.
It wasn't.
So I got my mechanic stethoscope. I feel like I'm doctoring now, and we're gonna turn the car on and see what we can hear. I have found the source of the ticking. So here's the conclusion. We think it's the lifter in this rear cylinder on the passenger side. I now own an automotive stethoscope. We hope if we can keep on top of our oil level, the lifters will stay quiet, and if they start to get loud again, maybe we'll end up in the shop, but we hope not.
We did.
So after filming that last video and continuing our drive, we realized that the oil pressure was really low and the lifter sound came back.
And your oil is your lifeblood of your engine.
Without oil, your engine could seize, and in Birdie, that might have been the end of her. We were hearing that lifter noise, and the combo of that and the low oil pressure made us think that maybe our oil pump had gone bad.
Luckily, we were close enough to Charleston, South Carolina, where my godmother lives, and we were able to stay with her while the repairs were being done on Birdie.
Our lack of southern accents made us targets for disreputable mechanics, and we had some skeevy guys that were giving us some really, really high prices for this work. But luckily we found the Folly Road Auto Repair, and they did the work. They gave us a great quote, and we have a brand new oil pump in the truck, which we're very excited about.
After 5 days of not being with Birdie and not traveling around the world with her, we were back in her. We were happy to be back on the road. Check out what we did over those 5 days while we were waiting for her to be fixed.
We're real deep in the swamp at Congaree National Park, and it is beautiful back here and quiet, and all we're hearing is the birds. Hear the woodpeckers? Don't have Spanish moss like this in New Jersey.
So this guy hates bowling, and here at the park, there's this mini bowling.
I hate bowling, come on. One. There are 17,000 square feet under this massive trees canopy. Look at that oil pressure shoot right up. Before we weren't getting any pressure when the truck was idling. So this is a very exciting day. We're refilling our water tanks for the first time this trip. When we left in January, it was way too cold to have our water tanks full all the time. We were afraid of freezing pipes, so we were living out of some gallon jugs. And now we're in South Carolina, and it's finally warm enough to fill that truck up. It was warm enough when we got here, but then old Birdie was in the shop for a couple days, so we're finally adding some water.